There is a precise moment when power dies. It's not in defeat, it's not in failure, it's in explanation. The second you open your mouth to justify your actions, you've already surrendered the battlefield of perception. Machiavelli understood this fatal flaw of human nature. Explanation transforms the explainer into the accused. Watch what happens when someone demands you explain yourself. You feel it, don't you? That sudden shift. The questioner was beneath you. Now they're above you. They've become the judge. You've become the defendant. This psychological reversal happens instantly. The moment you justify, you validate their right to question you. Explanation is the language of the weak. It's the sound of authority crumbling under pressure. Every word you speak in defense digs your grave deeper. Each justification confirms their suspicions. The truly powerful never explain. They simply are. Their presence speaks louder than their words. Think of the last time you explained yourself. Did it strengthen your position or weaken it? When you explain, you're no longer acting from strength, you're reacting from weakness. The questioner gains power with every word you waste defending yourself. They're feeding off your desperation. Explanation reveals your insecurities, your fears, your desperate need for approval. It exposes everything. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. As we discussed, the moment of explanation is fatal. But why exactly does it destroy you so completely? The answer lies in what Machiavelli understood about power dynamics. Every explanation creates an instant reversal. When you explain yourself, you unconsciously elevate your challenger to the position of judge. You transform them from questioner into authority. From challenger into the one who decides your fate. Think about it. The moment you justify your actions, you admit they need justification. You signal that their opinion matters more than your authority, more than your position. This is the fatal transfer of power that most people never see coming. In that single moment of explanation, you hand them the crown while kneeling before them. But here's what the masters of power understand about silence. When you remain silent, you force them to remain in their natural position below you. Your silence declares that you owe them nothing. No explanation, no justification. It maintains the hierarchy. It preserves your authority. It keeps the crown exactly where it belongs. But this principle goes even deeper when we examine history's greatest strategic minds. History's greatest leaders understood something most never learn. Silence wasn't weakness. It was their most devastating weapon. Napoleon Bonaparte never explained his military strategies to critics. When questioned about seemingly reckless maneuvers, he remained silent. His victory spoke louder than any explanation ever could. Winston Churchill faced brutal political attacks throughout his career. Critics demanded explanations for his controversial decisions. Churchill's response: strategic silence that left his enemies guessing. Julius Caesar mastered the art of unexplained actions. He crossed the Rubicon without justifying his choice to anyone. His silence created an aura of invincibility and divine purpose. These leaders understood that explanation diminishes authority. They let their actions create the narrative others desperately sought. While their enemies exhausted themselves demanding answers, these masters simply moved forward. But why do we fall into this trap? What drives the desperate need to explain ourselves when under scrutiny? The answer lies in our most primitive psychological wiring, the desperate hunger for approval. From childhood we learn that explanation equals absolution, that words can wash away doubt. This conditioning creates a fatal reflex. When questioned, we instinctively reach for words like drowning men reach for rope. But here's the psychological truth that destroys most people. Every explanation is an admission. An admission that their doubt has power over you. That their opinion matters more than your truth. The moment you explain, you've revealed your deepest insecurity. Your need to be understood. But power operates on a different frequency, entirely. It doesn't seek understanding, it commands it. Those who truly possess power understand this fundamental truth about human psychology. When you explain, you're not providing information, you're performing submission. You're demonstrating that their judgment carries more weight than your conviction. This is why explanation feels so natural in the moment, yet leaves you feeling so diminished afterward. Your subconscious recognizes what your conscious mind refused to accept. You just gave away your power. But what happens when you resist this psychological trap? When you force others to fill the silence instead? But here's where Machiavelli's wisdom reveals its true brilliance. When you master strategic silence, something extraordinary happens. Others begin explaining themselves to you instead. Your silence creates a psychological void that demands to be filled. The human mind cannot tolerate unexplained authority. So your challengers scramble to justify why they even questioned you. Watch as they frantically search for reasons to validate their doubt. This is the reversal technique that shifts the burden of proof entirely. Instead of you proving your worth, they must prove their right to challenge. Your unexplained confidence becomes proof of your superiority. They begin constructing elaborate theories about your greatness. Your mystery becomes more compelling than any explanation ever could. Building on what we've covered, the final mastery awaits. Now comes the hardest part. Learning when to break your own rules. Strategic silence isn't about never speaking. It's about choosing your moments with surgical precision. When someone of true influence questions you, sometimes a calculated explanation becomes a power move. The difference? You're not defending. You're educating from a position of strength. But this requires something most people never develop: unshakable inner authority. Inner authority isn't arrogance. It's the quiet certainty that comes from knowing your own worth. When you possess this, something magical happens. The entire dynamic shifts. You stop being the defendant in life's courtroom. You become the judge. Others begin seeking your approval instead of questioning your actions. They explain themselves to you. They justify their behavior to you. This is Machiavelli's ultimate lesson. Power flows to those who refuse to chase it. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you start commanding respect. Master strategic silence. Transform from reactor to creator of your own reality. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.